Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As I hope you all know by now, Carmen Mombercat getting ready to speak to you. I want to spend the next little while introducing you to ED5634. And for us, we're simply going to call this our problem solving course. And we're getting ready to say congratulations. The last step. We're getting closer and closer to being done. Those capstones are going to be presented this summer. And I would think as you're listening to this video, you're just about ready to really tackle this class, and hopefully your capstones have been, at least with the formal writing of your capstone, that's been put to bed. Okay, I want to just give you an overview of what the course is going to look like, how it's going to work, what to look for in 5634, a few little hiccups that past students face that I might be able to help you avoid, that sort of thing. Okay. So, you can log on to Moodle, and no doubt you already have, because that's how you're getting to see this link. Or I think if I send you this link in email, then maybe you found the infamous YouTube site for it there, and if that's the case, then go to Moodle, probably push pause right now on this video and go to Moodle, and I'm going to work our way through that, okay? So I'm assuming that you're on our Moodle homepage and you're about to follow along with me, and I'll truly give you an overview. Okay, the big ticket, I guess you could say, for this course is that at the end of it, and once you read through the course outline, you'll see what the end of it means. At the end of it, you're going to write your own case. I hope it's worthy of publication. I'm working with a couple of students right now from previous cohort where I think we are going to get at least 2 of the cases actually published. So think about it that way. But I'm preparing you to do small bites, mid-sized bites, so you can take the really big bite at the end, and that is write your own case and follow a format that's acceptable in the world of using case study as a form of learning. So we're going to start off small, and the small is you're simply going to read a little bit about it. So if you go down and you see the elements and purposes of a case study right here, there's just some documentation. It's just simply read. Read, come to understand. You have a bit of a knowledge as to what case study methodology is like as far as a learning medium is concerned. Okay? Then to kind of get our feet wet, you're going to analyze and present a few mini case studies. In this folder that you see right here, mini cases, if I click on it, let's see if it works. It opens, yep it does, and you will see audio tapes of case study 16, 48, whatever these numbers are, 55, 67, 81, 91. Art Aiken is actually the voice that you're going to hear. Art Aiken, along with George Bedard, actually started this program, and I change it up every now and then as to which of the cases that I pick that he actually made some audio tapes of, but that's what you're going to do. You listen to them all, then pick 3. Now let's go back. So we come back to here, you'll see actually what the assignment is. So let's click on assignment, and it says select 3 mini cases for analysis. Your summary and analysis for each case will identify, pay close attention to this, each case will identify the leadership issues and offer a mini strategic plan to resolve the issue. That's it. Be brief on identifying the leadership issue. Be a little bit more long-winded with what would you do if you had to solve that. Not very much as far as words are concerned, roughly 250. We might expand that all the way up to 500, but try to stick to 250. What's 250? Pretty much 1 full page, double space. Okay, pay attention to that. Then analyze 1 of these 3, analyze a 2nd of these 3, analyze a 3rd of these 3. Each analysis is in the rough 250 word range. Put them all in the same Word document. Then submit them. So you're only going to submit 1 Word document to me, but it has your 3 analysis. Okay? Let's go back. But stick to this. Even if at the end Art asks questions, that's to help focus in on what that case was about. Not that you answer them. You identify the leadership issues, present a bit of a plan as to how you can move forward. And yes, there's a right and wrong answer. Let's go back. So, you got the rubric for mini cases, you have the mini cases, you have where you're going to present the mini cases, and there's some date in there somewhere that tells you when you're going to have to submit them by. We get those out of the way. I get some quick feedback to you. Now we come to a little bit of the midpoint of what's happening. There in essence are going to be 3 major cases that you're going to do an analysis of. Dave Dryden High School, grade 3 transfer case, and something we're going to call hocus pocus secondary case. Each of you will do an analysis of Dave Dryden. You will each do an analysis of grade 3. You will each do an analysis of hocus pocus at 3 different timelines, 3 different points of time throughout the next 2.5 or 3 months. Okay? Present your analysis for Dave Dryden here, for your transfer case here, for your hocus pocus here. I give you a little bit further explanation in here. You can listen to that when you get there. Here's in word form is the actual case. The analysis, the rubric is right here, but let's open that up. The analysis tells us, or the rubric tells us, that your analysis should give a clear, concise summary of the key points of the issues that are actually arising in the case. Let me pull this over here so we're both seeing the same thing. So the analysis gives a clear and concise summary of the key points and issues in the case. First part. Second part. Relevant sites from real-life settings and/or literature illustrate the extent to which the leadership principles in the case are relevant. So it's the second part of what you need to think about and actually write about. An alternate rational argument or solution is posed, clearly stated, if that's appropriate. Or appropriate strategies are suggested that would move the case to resolution. Or alternative decisions and courses of action are suggested that would have prevented issues from emerging. You can take this tact, or this tact after you give us the big idea as to what it's all about and perhaps an example as to make sure that I get that you get what that means. Now look what the word limit was. And the word limit has been very limited in the past couple of years. Couple of pages. We can expand that all the way up to, but absolutely no more than 1,000 words. Okay? Maximum 1,000 words. And I put this in last year after we did our first analysis. Before you tackle a second case, wait until I send out my thoughts and musings. We'll do that as soon as all the cases for Dave Dryden are marked. Dave Dryden is going to be the first one that you're going to hand in. Don't do the grade 3 transfer case until I send back group feedback to what really went on with Dave Dryden. Follow me? Once I send that out, and I'll send it out in audio tape format, you can listen to what I have to say. Once I finish that, then go on to do your grade 3 transfer case. Okay, let me close that because there's a second part to all of this. The second part is, let's open up the, excuse me, let's open up the course outline. So we come here to the course outline, I say okay. Most of what I just said is of course all listed in here. But what I want to go down to is the next little part. Somewhere down here, oh yeah, here we go, is this one. Each of you will also not only do your analysis of the case and post it into the assignment section, a third of you will post a certain case into the forum section. So for the Dave Dryden post, Scott, Jill, Jason, Allison, and Greg, you'll post it into the assignment, as will everybody else. But these 5 people will also post it into the forum section. Just Scott, Jill, Jason, Allison, and Greg. Anna, you're going to take and do a little bit of analysis of what Scott has written. Cam, you're going to take and do a little bit of analysis of what Jill said. Bonnie with Jason, Jay with Allison, Mark with Greg. Follow me? You're not going to get highfalutin about it. You're going to let, so we'll just use Anna and Scott as the example. Anna, you're going to let Scott know, yeah, here's the areas which you agree with his analysis. Perhaps Scott nailed it, bang on, what the leadership issues were, and posed a plausible way forward with the case. Or perhaps you're going to say, yep, Scott, I think you really nailed exactly what the leadership issue is, but I also think these issues are at play. Or you might say, nailed it, exactly what the leadership issues were, but, you know, I think leaders should have blah, 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 done something a little bit different. Take a look at it. You don't say, Scott, you dumb bunny, you know, how could you have ever said that? Of course, we know we're always polite. We're conscientious in what we're going to do. We're going to go back again, and we're always polite. But we want to present other thoughts. Because none of these cases, they appear almost straightforward when you first read them, but then when you stop and go, yeah, now we go a little bit deeper, and we got to think about them in a different way. So we're going to come across different solutions. Maybe Scott's going to take it from an instructional leadership perspective. Anna really thinks it's all about relationships. Maybe Scott thinks, no, this case really is about lack of vision. Anna thinks, no, I really think this case is really digging into poor performance when it came to leading a learning community. That's all plausible, and we know that's very likely. So it gives you the opportunity to work with what somebody else has said. So Scott, Jill, Jason, Allison, Greg will do the analysis and put into the regular assignment section for me to mark according to our rubric what they have to say about the Dave Dryden post. Then they will also put it into form. These people on an individual basis respond. Grade 3 transfer case, Kristen, Ann, Chad, Anna, Cam, and Bonnie. You're going to, like everybody else, do the assignment section, but you'll put yours into the form and you'll see which individual will actually respond to yours. And then finally with the Hocus Pocus case, so on and so forth. Okay? I think that's as clear as mud. So one more time. Everybody responds to all three of the big cases in the assignment section. About a third of you will then put your answer into the forum, and then an individual who is assigned and right opposite you will provide some feedback and possible suggestions or alternative way forwards, yada, yada. Okay? Whatever due date the Dave Dryden assignment has, I give you about a week, meaning Anna, Cam, Bonnie, and Jay, to actually post your response to the forum. Same as with the other group. What I wait for before I send out the group feedback to everybody who's going to put in their assignment, their answer to the Dave Dryden, and I will give you some audio feedback before you tackle the grade 3 transfer post. But I only want to give the audio feedback after Anna's responded to Scott, Cam to Jill, Bonnie to Jason, Jay to Allison, and Mark to Greg. So do it in a smart fashion. The day the assignment is due, make sure it's in the assignment section. The day the assignment is due, you 5 people make sure you post to the forum. Within the week, you 5 people respond. Shortly after it, I'll send out audio tape. Then everybody go to work on the grade 3 transfer case, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, we go through. You got your little mini cases. Keep them brief. We go to our big analyses. Keep them under 1,000 words. Post to forums. Then we get down to the end, some part, middle, beginning part of June. You write your own case. As usual, that final assignment, that's the one that separates the infamous sheep from the goats. And if there is a bit of a differential in mark, which there has to be in this post-secondary world, then that's where it's going to appear when you actually get to write your own case. I expect high standards in writing your own case, and you'll get the feedback. Okay, one last thing to warn you about. At the end of these big cases, there's a series of questions that are asked. They're not asked for you to write about each of those questions in your assignment that you're going to put in the assignment section. Leadership issues, where it's connected, what's the way forward. That's all I'm looking for in what you're actually going to write about in your assignment section. The big questions that are asked at the end of each of those cases, that's just for you to think about. It's for you to help narrow your thinking, or narrow is wrong. Focus your thinking. Don't think about answering every one of those questions in your less than 1,000 words that you have to write about. Stick to the knitting of what's in the rubric, and you should be doing fine. Okay, as usual, you folks, you know how to get a hold of me. I'm always accessible. At some point in May and June, I'll be taking off to some points around the country. Don't worry about that. You track me down with email. You ever need to talk by phone, we talk by phone. If you ever get stuck, let's get you unstuck as quickly as possible. I know how busy you people are in May. That's why the course opens up on April 1st. We can make this all work. We always do. And it's your last one. But last one, we're not slacking off. Last one, we're pulling it together. And what I'm really looking for are those insights you've gleaned from your coursework for the past 2 years. Okay? So, with that, I bid you adieu and talk to you soon. Bye now. I got to go over here and turn the darn thing off.